coronavirus has affected the world, and the spread of the epidemic has seriously affected people's lives. Governments in many countries require stores to be closed. People need to stay at home. If people go out, they must keep space with others. From March 21st, local business in the UK must suspend business, except for some supermarkets. The school buildings and the library also closed. The way students take classes is changed from face-to-face to online learning. This change have a big impact on international students.
My major is education, and it should be internship in March, but because the coronavirus, it was cancelled by the primary school in UK. So I think the internship in my major is very useful for my future, the job or some experience, some specific skills. So I think it was a negative impact in my education, and because I decided to come back to China when I graduated. Because the coronavirus, a lot of education institution was closed. I think it will impact my job, and due to the virus, a lot of students in China can't attend to the IELTS exam, so they can't apply a university, so they maybe won't study abroad. The day I stay at UK, I will keep fit and do my assignment every day, so I think it's quite safe if I stay here. And I have enough food, and if I want to hang out to buy some food, I will wear the mask, and I think it's quite safe.
I think this year is particularly hard for everyone, especially students. Newly graduated students. So for me, this lockdown actually affects my studies quite a lot in many aspects. For example, motivation. It's really demotivated for me to actually have to stay at home to learn, to study, and even join the class. Because it's really hard when I wanted to ask questions, whereas I don't know if there's anyone wanted to speak or is there anyone is typing their message. So for me, when I waited, then my motivation was decreased. And secondly was, it's a little bit too hard for me to actually sit at my desk, because I usually before this all happened, I normally would just go to library and then I would study right there. So I kind of used to the vibe that I need to stay in the library that's very quiet. There's no other things that would actually distracted me. Unlikely at home, you have TVs, you have a lot of books right there, you have your phones around, and people might call, and everything is just so demotivate me and distracted me from my studies. If we talk about my future plan, I don't have a plan right now because I don't know what would happen. At first, when first time I got here, it was 2 years ago, and I was planning that before I graduated, I'm going to study to looking for jobs in the UK. However, this year is too hard for us, foreign laborers, to actually find opportunities. So everything is just very uncertain, and it actually gets me quite anxious about the future, since we don't know when is this gonna to end. The vaccine will actually come out, so I don't like the feeling that my future is remained the stage of uncertainty.
Some businesses still faced on a certain future after lockdown. Affected by coronavirus, many industries have been hit.
其实我认为，餐饮行业应该是受疫情影响最大的一个行业的了，因为我们餐饮行业本身是一个场景性的社交消费，那么人家不出来社交的了，也不出来聚餐，也不出来逛，那么自然而然，你可想而知它的一个影响有多大。那一个很明显的变化就是说，以前我们是很难招人的，但是今年特别的好招人，证明倒了很多餐饮店，这是很严峻的。当然了，国家现在的话呢，它也出台了很多的一些政策去刺激咱们这样一个消费，因为中国的疫情控制的是非常好，也是比较稳定的，所以国家从省里到市里到咱们区里，都发了一些相对的优惠券，让大家去走出门去消费。那么这个代金券的话呢，它是不需要商家出任何成本的，由国家直接给钱的，明显感受到客流量增加了，确实刺激了一波消费。这一波刺激过后呢，其实客流量还是没有稳定下来。那一方面可能是大家口袋里面呢也是比较紧张，然后呢还是比较担心疫情，所以个人认为就是说行业迅速的复苏起来，那最终还是要疫情得到全面控制以后才出现这种情况。那么当然了，我个人认为呢，咱们的这种报复性消费马上就要来的了，因为大家憋得太久了，那么想吃的也吃不到啊，想玩的也没玩到，那么憋了这么几个月的话呢，只要疫情过，大家肯定会走出门去消费，所以我对这个行业的话呢，还是非常有信心的。现在人们外出的话呢，普遍都还是戴着口罩，因为咱们国内相对来说还没有到那种可以摘下口罩的地步。每一个到我们店内来消费的客人呢，我们都会做一个体温的测量和个人信息的一个登记，所以包括我们也会提供免洗洗手液去做一个消毒。那当然，我们店内每天早上呢都会做一个消毒和清杀，这也是我们作为餐饮企业最基本也是最重要的一种社会责任的一个体现吧。所以这个是很重要的，因为客人对于消费的这种要求是越来越高了。对。
Now coronavirus is slowly being controlled. Some countries have begun to lift the ban, and people life slowly returning to normal.
For the work-wise, I don't think there's much change because I personally work in a sector where we are allowed to do our work as much as we can from home. Therefore, the only difference is that we need to have conference call with people in different countries, but we normally already do it. So work-wise, it doesn't make much difference. And as for another important measure from the government is on the social distancing. So we are not allowed to go out as a group of more than 3. And even you are with a group of 3 people that you should be hanging out with people from the same household. So that's why there's also policemen checking all around. And the measures are quite strict in a way that you could get criminal record if you violate such restrictions. But now, after 2 months, I think all the measures are relatively relaxed. So starting from next week, we can actually start a gathering as group of more than 10 people, and also restaurants and terraces are opening up. But overall, I do expect that this social distancing to be a mid to longer term strategy from the government. So I think not until end of the year or with vaccine that we can really go back to the normal life.